Tonight with Door County News. Washington Island, home to 660 people.
But it is also home to legends and a history that many people haven't heard of before. Local 5's Erinn Taylor took a journey to Door County to discover this unique history.
She joins us now live with the story behind the stories of a community of escaped slaves that just seemed to disappear. Erinn.
It's a little-known piece of Wisconsin's history. There is evidence that a community of black fishermen settled on Washington Island in the 1850s. It's a story many may not have heard until a local author visited our studio and told the tale. That's where we begin.
It is historical fiction, but author Tom Davis joins us now. Good morning.
We're going to Sturgeon Bay. This is kind of the first stop on our journey for answers.
Answers from Thomas Davis, the man who wrote the book on how escaped slaves could have possibly made their way to Washington Island.
And I accidentally ran across this reference. This was a long time ago, before 2000. And I saw a reference to this black preacher on Washington Island.
A reference starting a journey ending with the publishing of his book in 2019.
Well, where did they come from? Where did they go to? Why ain't they here now? Those sorts of questions. Tried to answer those.
Now, I think we've learned just about everything we can from the mainland. It's time to finally make the trip to Washington Island. And as you can see, we're first in line for the ferry. We boarded and looked over Davis's book. Our first stop on the island, the bookstore that inspired that book.
The proprietor there, after I asked her if she had any material on this, told me about the archives, of course, at the Washington Island Library. But also she started sort of trying to talk me into writing a book about Reverend Bennett and what had happened on the island.
Fair Isle Books is closed for the season, but Deb told us that In the Unsettled Homeland of Dreams was her bestseller over the summer.
His book has been phenomenally popular. It's been the bestseller in my shop. Even in 2020, it was the bestseller for my whole season.
I spoke to Deb before our trip to the island. The book's popularity gave rise to conversations about that fishing community that was once on the island.
People seemed aware of generally that there was a black community on the island back in the 1800s, but I don't think there was much knowledge about it, just about that much.
One thing everyone I spoke to thus far agreed on was one particular location.
A black community that had, a fisherman community that had formed in West Harbor in Washington Island.
The land that most people think those escaped slaves likely set up camp is now a part of Gibson's West Harbor Resort. So we set out to talk to the man that's owned this land since the 1970s.
I took over from my folks in 1970, and my folks bought the property in 1947.
Herb spent his entire life on the island, save the years he served in the Coast Guard. He's heard about the black community that once took up residence here.
That's a story that I've heard many times and continue to believe that it was a location that was handy for the Underground Railroad for getting to Canada.
A lifelong native who knows the area. He can picture in his mind's eye what life would have been like for those escaped slaves.
This just happened to have a nice little protected harbor and an area where they could build their little cabins and build their little church and catch fish. So I think it just kind of got to be a really nice place for them. But then I think the pressure of the other growing community here at the time, and I'm not sure other things could have affected them sort of just packing up and going.
Stories have been passed down over generations, but what do we really know for sure? To find out, we're heading now into the archives.
There's just not a lot of concrete evidence about the whole subject itself.
The details faded and lost over the years. But Reese does believe there is a general outline of what may have really happened.
Early 1850s, probably 1852, was when they were first, the colony of families, I think it's several families, were down in West Harbor.
But they didn't stay long.
By 1855, I think they were gone. They moved on sometime around then, 1854, so really they were only here three or 4 years.
A short time remembered, thanks in part to the documentation of Jesse Minor.
Jesse Minor was born in 1850, and he died in 1915. And then he writes a lot of his recollections about early island happenings,
including a tidbit about the black community that shared the island with white settlers for a time.
He talks about, here there's a paragraph, it's probably about, 50, 60 words. And
50 or 60 words make up one of the only primary source documentations of the black community on Washington Island. Davis says that's probably by design.
We had some legislation that passed that was absolutely horrific, really, at least from our modern sensibilities. There were 2 Fugitive Slave Acts.
It would have been a scary time for the small settlement, and those laws may be why they left West Harbor without a trace.
The bounty hunters got a really handsome bounty for those times for taking a slave down south. The federal government paid it.
Leaving stories behind on the island that indicate Washington Island wasn't just a stop on a long journey. For a few short years, it was home. Now, in researching this story, we made so many discoveries about the island's history and the black community that once called it home. You can find more information on our website, wearegreenbay.com. Live in Door County, Erinn Taylor, Local 5 News.